What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this exercise, we're going to explore different views of a structural model, and in addition, we're going to create multiple plan views by using the existing views in the project browser. Okay, so let's explore the views. So as you can see right now, second floor is open. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to click this icon here from the quick access toolbar. So this is the default 3D view. Just click this one. Okay, so this is now the 3D view, and as you can see, the first view that we have a while ago, it's still open here. Okay, so that is what happens every time you open a view. It will just keeps on adding here in this bar, so that you don't need to go to the project browser. You just need to click here again. You click the view. Okay, and if you want to see the second floor, for example, and also the 3D side by side, so what you do is you can go to the view tab and then Windows. You can see here tile views, or you can type WT. So you click that, and then you will now see the two views side by side, and you can right click, and then you can select zoom to fit, and right click again here in the 3D view. You click first, or pan, right click, and then zoom to fit. Now another way to zoom to fit both the views at the same time. Let's say, for example, the view is like this, the view is like this. So what you can do here is, here in the 3D view, you can see this bar here. So this is a navigation bar. So what you do, you can click that drop down arrow there, and then look for zoom all to fit. So you click that, and then it will zoom all to fit all the views. Okay, so you can find that tool also here on the floor plan. So let's try that one out like this. So you can go to your floor plan, just left click on the blank space to activate your second floor plan view, and then again look for the navigation bar. If you don't have the navigation bar, like for example you close it accidentally, so what you do is you can go to the view tab, and then you go to the user interface, and then look for the navigation bar. Okay, just click that, and it will appear here again. So again, you have several options here. So you can select zoom in region. So if you want to zoom into one particular area like that, you just need to hold your left click and then drag, and then release your left click, and you will zoom to that particular region. So your navigation bar is really useful here. So you also have zoom out twice like that. Okay, so you have zoom to fit like this one, and other options. So if you have time, you can use these options. You can also right click at the blank space, and then you can see here the zoom tools as well, except for the zoom all to fit. Zoom all to fit, you can find it here, or you can type ZA. Okay, so zoom all, ZA. So just type ZA, and there you go. And also you have this steering wheel here. So right now it's 2D wheel. If you click that, because this is only for 2D, so you can hold your left click, and then you can move forward, backward. So forward or up or forward, zoom in, backwards, hold left click, zoom out. Okay, but I seldom use this steering wheel. Okay, so you also have the pan here, and you can also rewind the views that you have a while ago. Okay, so that is your 2D wheel. So here in the 3D, so you also have that steering wheel. So you can click that. So you can orbit. You can orbit, hold your left click, and then you can orbit your 3D model. You can zoom in first, and then you move your pointer to the orbit, and then hold it. Okay, right. So I'm gonna close the steering wheel here. So if you're going to orbit and you want to focus on one element, just click that element. Like for example this one, I'm gonna click that so I can orbit my 3D model, concentrating on that element. So once you select the object, hold the shift on your keyboard and then hold the middle button of your mouse, and then you can now move your mouse to orbit. As you can see, it's concentrated on that. Okay, you can click again, orbit like that, zoom in, orbit. Okay, so basically that's how you use your navigation bar, your steering wheel, and then how to orbit your model. It's not difficult. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do here is, let's say for example, I'm going to open my section 2. Okay, so here's my section 2, and I'm going to make this view maximize view. So to do that, from the view tab, Windows, you can select here tab views. So you click that and it will now maximize your view. So in a certain view, so there are some instances wherein you will see here that there is a section icon or section created in that view or call out. If you want to open that, you just need to, let's say for example, this call out, you want to open this call out, you just need to double click that circle or the call out head. Just double click that and it will now open that particular call out. So you are now on call out of section 2. So from section 2, so that's your call out, that is where you create the call out, and then you want to open, double click the call out head, or you can click the boundary, right click, and then you can select go to view, and there you go. Same with the section. So you can double click that to open up the section. So this is the section, this is section 3. Okay, so you can also click that line, right click, and then go to view. There you go. Okay, and aside from that, you can also flip your section view to the other side. So right now it's looking on the left side. So if you want to look that to the right side, just click that icon. Okay, so it's not changing. There you go. And then again, you can right click, go to view, and there you go. So that's the updated section view. So if you want to know what is the name of that particular section, for example, you do not know that on the project browser, so just hover your pointer and then look at the status bar. If you remember on our user interface topic on our lesson 1, you just hover your pointer, do not click, and then you can see here on the status bar, it says section 3. Okay, so meaning to say, you can just double click this one and then it will open that particular view. So same with this. So just hover your pointer to the call out if you don't know the name. And then you can see there it says call out of section 2 here on the status bar. Call out of section 2. Okay. Now, the next thing that we will be doing is I'm going to create multiple plan views. Okay. So I'm going to open second floor. Okay, by the way, if you press the middle button of your mouse twice quickly, it will zoom to fit your view like that. So just press the middle button of your mouse twice quickly like that, so it will zoom to fit. Now here on the second floor, so I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to duplicate, right click, and then you see there's a duplicate option here. So you have 3 different options. Now for this exercise, I'm going to use here duplicate only. So when you say duplicate, model elements are visible but annotations are not. So as you can see here on my original view on the second floor, there are some annotations already, right? So let's say for example, I only want to duplicate the model elements, the 3D model. So you can right click the view and then you can just select duplicate. Okay, just click that and there you go. See, you only have the model elements without those annotations. And here's the copy. So I'm going to right click this to rename, and then I'm gonna call this second floor working. Let's say this will gonna be my working drawing. Working, enter. Okay, so this is now the working drawing. So this is independent. When you duplicate your view, this is independent from the original second floor view. So you can use it as a working view to further build the model and coordinate with a reference architectural plan. So the original second floor view, which is this one, can contain the annotation and be used, for example, for documentation. Okay, so the next thing that we will be doing, let's create a new view with detailing. Okay, so same procedure. So let's right click the second floor and then duplicate. This time I will be using duplicate with detailing. Okay, so notice that the annotation tags that are visible to our duplicated view. So you see. So let's rename this one. So right click, rename, and let's call this overall. Enter. Okay. And again, this view is also independent from our original second floor. So you can change the view to a coarser scale that allows the entire plan or multiple overall plans to fit on the sheet. So additional annotation belongs to the view and does not display in the original view. So if you add some more annotation in this view, it's only to this view. It will not update your second floor. Okay? So now let's use the other option, the last option. So let's right click the second floor, and this time let's use duplicate as a dependent. So let's click that, and there's now our dependent. As you can see, this is under the original view. Okay, so any changes that we made on our parent view, your child view, or your dependent view will also update when it comes to the view properties and model elements. Okay, so if you add annotation in this second floor, you add tags, it will also update your dependent view. Okay, so let's rename this one, the dependent. So rename. So let's say I'm gonna call this West. Enter. Okay, so the other views that we have duplicated earlier are independent, whereas this one is now dependent to our parent view, and vice versa. Any changes that we made for the view properties or model elements on our dependent view, it will also update your parent view. Okay, now since we named this one as West, okay, so let us crop our view. So let's double click this. Okay, let's double click that, and then as you can see, there is the crop boundaries here. Okay, the crop boundaries can be activated by turning on this crop region tool and turning on this crop view if you want to crop the view. Okay, so let's say this is West, right? So I'm going to select this. So let me just show you first. If I click this one, it will hide the crop region. Okay, let me turn on again, like that. This one, it will allows you to crop the view. So let's click our crop boundary. So let's say the West is here. So I'm gonna crop this one. By the way, you see this dotted line here? This is for annotation. So any annotation that touches this line here, your broken line, the annotation crop, it will be hidden in the view. Okay, or any annotation outside this annotation crop will gonna be hidden on our view. Okay, so that's how your annotation crop works. So let's move this, let's drag that. So this is the west part. Okay, so as you can see, it crops the view because this is activated. So if you're going to click this from the view control bar, click the do not crop view, it will not crop the view, but still you can modify this one. Okay, now let's crop it. There you go. Okay, so let's create another dependent view for the second floor east. So right click, duplicate view, duplicate as a dependent. Let's call this east. Enter. Okay, and then let's click this one, and for the east, it's up to D. Just give some allowance for the view. Okay, that's it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here next is I'm gonna open the parent view. Let me double click that, and I'm going to put a match line. So what is a match line? Match line can be, you can find your match line here on our view tab, and then you can see on the sheet composition panel, that's the tool, match line tool. It adds match lines to indicate where a view is split. Okay, so you can click that match line, and then here on our modify create match line sketch, draw. Using the line tool, I'm going to draw my match line. So let me just draw here. Okay, and then I'm going to pick another point here. So that's the match line. Let's modify that to terminate, and then let us now finish. There you go. So there's the match line. Okay. Now, if you want to change the match line, how it looks like, what you can do is you can click your match line and then right click, and you can override the graphics in the view. You can click that, and then you can select here by element. Okay, you can click that one. It will only apply to this match line here. So here on the view specific element graphics, you can change the pattern. So let's say the pattern will gonna be let's say center 1/4 inch, and I want to change the color. So let's say I want to change that to red. Okay, and weight, so let's say I'm gonna make that thicker. So let me make it 5. Okay, and there you go. So there's the match line. So if you want to show the thickness of your line weights, you can turn off the thin lines. Okay, you can click that, and there you go. See, now there's the thickness. So sometimes your line weights cover some lines. So there are some instances you do not want to show the line weight because it obscures some of the elements. So that's why I turn on the thin lines to show just a single line. But don't worry, when you print this or print to PDF, you can see the original line weight. Okay, so there's the thin line if you want to show the line weights. Okay, but for the meantime, if you want to turn it off, so you can just select here thin lines like that. Okay, right. So that's our match line. So that is where we indicate our view splits. Okay, so let me close the other views that I have opened here. So instead of clicking it one by one to close, what you can do is you can go to the view and you can select close inactive views. You can click that, and once you do that, all of these views that you have open, it will close automatically. Click that, and there you go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the east, then I'm gonna open the west. There you go, and then let me select tile views, and then you can select here zoom all to fit. There you go. Okay, so for this crop boundary, what you can do here is you can click here on the blank space, and then if you want, you can hide that. So hide the crop region, and then click here, You can also hide the crop region. There you go. And also, I just want you to notice that on our dependent view, as you can see, the match line here is not updated compared to the parent view here. So that is one thing that you need to take note. The match line will not update, so you need to modify it separately on your dependent view. So let's click the match line, right click, or maybe what you can do, instead of doing it like that, you can also go to the properties and then look on the visibility graphic overrides. You can also do it here. So edit, and then you can go to annotation categories tab, and then you can look for match line here. So you can also override here. Okay, so override, change the pattern, okay, color red, line weight 5, okay, okay. There you go, right? Okay, so same with here. So it's now updated in this view using the visibility graphic overrides. Okay, so a while ago, what we did here on our second floor, we do it only in this element by selecting that, right click, and then override graphics by element. It's not by category we did it, so we selected by element. That's why it only applies here. Okay, now, so what we did in this view is we have selected, we have opened the visibility graphic overrides in this view, which applies to the category. So let's go to annotation categories, and then we change it here, right? So that's why you will notice it also applies to the other view here and also here. Okay, although we didn't see here because we already changed this, but definitely it will change as well if you use visibility graphic overrides. Okay, so let me type ZA for zoom all to fit. Okay, so there you go. So this is now the completed exercise in which we have learned how to explore and create views. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.